Analysis of TANLA platforms. This is the daily chart. If you really look at this, the most recent break of structure is over here. We've had this leg and then price has kind of broken it. We also noticed that this is probably some kind of a demand zone where price comes in and then reacts strongly. So I'm just going to maybe draw this as a daily demand. I can this is a daily demand zone where price came in, reacted, but that reaction failed and we've kind of come down. So as far as the daily structure is concerned, I think we are extremely bearish. This was my daily swing low, and I'm gonna just mark this is the daily swing high, and then we've had a daily break of structure, which I'm just gonna mark here like this. This is my daily break of structure. So after the break of structure, what can we expect? We can expect a pullback, and the pullback should happen at least up to equilibrium, maybe 50%. We can use the fib tool and measure where we are. We are at the red line is 50% and the black is 61.8, which I don't need. So after a break of structure, we expect a pullback to happen, and the pullback can happen to some kind of a supply zone. So we have one supply zone here, this one. Is it a strong zone? Yes, because it has swept all this liquidity that was residing here, including this high. So this was, if you really look at this, all this is liquidity that has been swept by this wick over here. So how do we interpret this? So we have price coming down into this demand zone. This was a strong demand zone because this led to this huge upward candle. So this is a strong zone, and when price comes here, we react. We get a some kind of a reaction to the upside, but that doesn't go anywhere. Then we have we sweep all this liquidity because there would have been a lot of sell side, buy side liquidity residing over here, and then we sweep that and continue further down. Now we can classify this as now that we are in the pullback phase, and is the pullback over, and we are ready to continue. We can say that if we have a bare minimum is a change of character. So yes, when we broke this low, we had a change of character, which we can see by this blue line, and thereafter if we actually break this, then I'll be more convinced to start looking for shorts. Why? Because then this is an internal break of structure. So if we if I was to just kind of draw this, this is the internal pullback that's happened. We've had some kind of a break, but I'll be more confident to look for shorts as soon as we've kind of broken this low. So I'll be very, very interested in looking for shorts once we've kind of broken this. But yes, at the moment, I think as far as the daily structure is concerned, we are looking for the daily is extremely bearish. Why? Because we've had a break of structure. After a break of structure, we can expect a pullback, and this is a very corrective price action, and we've pulled back into this supply, and we're now kind of looking at continuing further to take out this daily swing low. Also, as far as if we look at in terms of support and resistance, I think this is a reasonable structure, which is in the past. This is also if you look at this entire area here is some kind of a support zone. I'll just mark it as so there is definitely prices come here. It acted as a resistance, it acted as support here, and we just kind of somewhere here as a support. So price currently as we go down to the lower time frames, we'll see that it's kind of just going sideways, but this is where we are as far as the daily is concerned. So the daily, to sum up, is bearish. We've had a break of structure, After a break of structure, we've pulled into this supply zone. It's a strong supply zone. Why? Because it swept a lot of liquidity residing over here, and we're now kind of pulling down. Also, if you look at it, I'm going to just get rid of this for the time being. If you look at it, we have a huge imbalance here, right? This is a fair value gap, a huge fair value gap, and we expect price to kind of pull into this and balance this whole thing out. So this is a daily imbalance that I'm looking at, which price will, I think, look to come down further in this. So this is as far as the daily is concerned. Moving on to the 4-hour, and I always do a daily 4-hour and a 1-hour and 15 and so on. So if we look at the 4-hour chart, where are we? So I think my latest break of structure would probably be, we could look at this, or we could look at this. So let's just go with, there's no hard and fast rule, but let's say this was my last swing low, and I'm going to mark this as a 4-hour swing low, and this is my swing high, and this was my break of structure as far as the 4-hour is concerned. So this is my H4 break of structure. So after a break of structure, we expect a pullback to happen. Where is the pullback likely to happen? So my 4-hour supply zone is this one here, and we can see that this is an embedded zone within the daily, so that's even more confluence. So we've had a 4-hour break of structure, and then we've had the price pulling up. We've come into this, we've had a bit of a reaction, and we've now swept these lows. We try to come up again over here into another 4-hour supply here, and then we kind of again reacted from there, and we're looking at coming down. Now as soon as I, like I said, if I have if the price pulls below this, then I'll be even more confident to look for shorts. And then once we have a break over here, I would expect price to come down into this imbalance, maybe sweep up a little, come into this. This will be another supply zone, and then we can look at targeting shorts and going down. This is what I expect the price to do as far as the 4-hour is concerned. So this is my last unmitigated supply zone here, and I think price should pull up here and then go down further. So this is as far as the H4 is concerned. Moving on to the H1, again, it's just a lot of sideways price action, and there's this huge I think support zone over here, like we had seen previously. This to me looks like a decent support area, and so right now I would really not be interested in taking any trades, but as soon as we have price breaking this, then I would be interested in looking at so this is like an embedded H1 zone here that I'll be very, very interested. This is a H1 supply, so I would expect price to pull in here and then look at playing for shorts. So the H1 is also extremely bearish for me. Moving on to the M15, let's see. So the M15 is also bearish. We've had the last break of structure is somewhere here, so I can possibly look at marking this as my M15 swing low, and I'm just gonna mark this as my M15 swing high, and we've had a break of structure here, a candle body close. This was the candle that closed below this, so this is my M15 break of structure. Great. So after this, we can expect, after the break of structure, price doesn't seem to be going anywhere at the moment, but I expect a pullback to happen. Where will the pullback happen? I'm not very sure, but again, we've got a huge imbalance here, so I expect, after this break of structure, price to come down a little more into this gap here, and then kind of go up into this zone. Do we have, Yeah, so this is also like an M15 supply which is embedded inside a 4R, but of course there's a lot of external range liquidity here. We've got relatively equal highs here, and price could possibly, you know, cross this, look up, and then come down. So yeah, so overall I think we are extremely bearish. um, let's see, let me just mark all of these. Oops, can I not do that? Oh, sorry. From here to here, I'm just going to group these. I should have just called these annotations. I'm going to hide these for the time being. So that's one way of, you know, looking at it. So overall, we can say that we're extremely bearish. I expect price to kind of pull down, go down into the huge imbalances that we've seen over here, and that's what my outlook is going to be. So look for shorts from supply zones that exist. So that's as far as you know, analyzing it with supply and demand and support and resistance are concerned. But we can also use our Minervini GPT to look at it. So this is my I just have the volume on, and I will have my two moving averages that I need, and yeah, that's pretty much it. I can also have the VWAP on, but okay, not required. So this is my you know, this is the input that's needed for my custom GPT, which identifies Minervini patterns. So I take the daily snapshot. This is the daily, and I go to my Minervini VCP picker, paste the daily, go to my H4 again, take a snapshot of this and paste it here, go to H1 and take a snapshot of this. I don't see any Minervini patterns here, but let's see what the expert says. M15, this is the M15, and finally the M5. All right, and this is the input that we give to the custom GPT. Just bear in mind that this one is only recommending whether you should be buying the stock or not. It does not recommend shorts. So my bias in any case is bearish as far as the stock is concerned, and I would be very much interested in looking for shorts from the supply zone that we have. But let's see what the GPT says. Let me get the annotations back on. So yeah, I'm expecting, you know, price to probably maybe pull up, sweep all this, and from this zone come down further. So let's just wait and see what happens. So this is what it's saying. It is some tightening visible, but lacks a very tight last contraction. Volume pattern not ideal. The confidence scores are not too great. Overall is just about 3.1. Given the analysis, it is advisable not to proceed with buying the stock currently, as the confidence score is low and the key indicators for a successful trade are not sufficiently present. So definitely I think it's going to not recommend going long on this, because and our bias is also pretty bearish on this. This appears to be a strong support zone nonetheless, and I think only once price kind of pulls below this will I look for, you know, price again to go up and then look for shorts. So yeah, that's pretty much it. So my bias, again to sum up, this is the M15. So I would expect price to kind of pull down a little here, then, you know, maybe go up into this zone and then look at going like really down. So yeah, this is what I think. It would also be prudent to look at, you know, considering other factors like fundamental analysis. There are elections coming up. There's going to be a lot of volatility in the market and so on. So yeah, look at those two and then take a decision.